to everybody for coming. We've got a couple more awesome bands coming up. And a little bit about what we're here. And actually, I don't know if somebody can get Rob from outside. I see him. Yeah, okay. Okay, a little bit about what we're doing here today. I am Haren. I'm with Build a Better Planet. And we're a nonprofit organization promoting sustainability. And I want to say thank you to a few people. First of all, to my parents who are not here today. They're in Texas, but they helped before the show, so thanks goes out to them. Big thank you to the Red Hook volunteers. This is actually their home, and I want to say big thank you to them. For those who may not know, this entire area was pretty much underwater thanks to a little lady called Hurricane Sandy, and so they've really, this community has really kind of pulled itself together and actually getting into why we're here, talking about sustainability and climate change and spreading the word. I think it's very important to do so. But first, if anybody would like to show a little love, this is the donation box for the Red Hook volunteers. You can find them on you can find them online. You can find us online, Build a Better Planet. We likes on Facebook. And Rob Greenfield has been, how many days on the road now? 85?
Yeah.
Biking from San Diego, California to Vermont, spreading the word about sustainability. So I'll turn the mic over to him, let him say a little bit about what he's doing and why this is important. Welcome, Rob. Welcome to New York.
Well, I can't use this because I'm not using electricity for the summer.
Speak loudly.
But yeah, basically I'm doing a trip called Off the Grid Across America, and I'm biking from actually San Francisco to Vermont. I'm from San Diego though, so it's 4,500 miles, and I'm living off the grid for the entire way. So the first thing is I'm not using electricity that I don't create myself. So I have solar panels with me, and that's what I get all of my electricity from. I haven't turned on a light switch, and I've plugged into 4 outlets total this entire summer. But anything like I can't use an oven, I can't use a toaster, I can't use a microwave, I can't let anybody cook for me because I use electricity. So that's the first one. Second one's water. All of my water comes from natural sources like lakes, rivers, streams, wells. And then if I don't have that, then I use water that would have gone to waste. So the last 5 or 6 days, 100% of my water has come from a leaky fire hydrant here in Brooklyn. So I've used 105 gallons of water since I left San Francisco. And the average American uses 180 to 100 gallons a day, and I've used 105 in 85 days. So about 83 times less water than the average American. And it's been easy. So, and I don't smell. I bathe in lakes and streams, shower in fire hydrants, and then eating all local organic food across the country. So going to farms, farmers markets, things like that. And if I can't find that, then I dumpster dive, which is not something that I did ever in San Diego. First time I ever did it was on this trip. But the idea is to have as minimal environmental impact through my food as possible. So not eating stuff that's taking, like for example, it's crazy that lettuce takes gasoline to grow. It's kind of a crazy concept. Once I started to wrap my head around it, I just couldn't really support it. So local organic food, otherwise food that's gone from the trash, and I've eaten 250 pounds of food that's been diverted from waste. So about 3 pounds of my food a day comes from food that would have gone in the garbage. Composting all of my food waste, and then creating near zero trash. So I've created 1 pound of trash since I left San Francisco, and the average American creates 4.5 pounds a day. So I've created 360 times less than the average American over the last 85 days. No swearing, that's just kind of a fun one. I sworn 7.5 times actually since I left. And yeah, so the whole idea.
What's the
it came out halfway. To be honest, I don't remember what it was, but I remember when I did it that it made sense calling it half. So the whole idea is like never telling anybody they have to do anything, but the whole purpose is just showing people what can be done should people choose to. And I never like to tell anybody, do this or don't do that, but I just like to show people, hey, you know, I can do this, maybe you can do that if you want to, and do it in kind of an enjoyable, inspirational way. So my bike's made of bamboo, which a lot of people find pretty interesting. It's handmade in Ghana, Africa. And the idea behind the bike is that there's the saying, teach a man to fish and he'll eat for life. Well, the saying with this is teach a man to build a bike and he can feed his family for a life, because they build the bikes with stuff they chop down right in the forests there. They don't even have to farm the stuff, it just grows naturally when they turn it into bikes. So that's kind of that's the idea of the trip. I'm on day 85 and I just have 400 miles to go. I've done 4,100 miles so far. It started out pretty tough. Finding food was challenging at first, and now it's just become an easy way of life. Once you start to realize things, you just kind of look around. You start to pay attention to the things around you, and you see drippy faucets, or you see food that's gone to waste. And I found that I can live, beyond survive. I can thrive without spending any money. Actually, I biked across the state of Pennsylvania without using money once, and I wasn't hungry, and I wasn't, I was never in any trouble or anything. So that's one good thing I learned. And then another take-home message I've gotten is if you're doing good stuff, people want to do good stuff for you. So good creates more good, smiles create more smiles, and typically love overcomes hate a lot better than hate will ever overcome love. So very simple, easy things that I've just kind of, I knew a lot of things, but immersed myself in them and seen them grow. So, anyone have any questions about the trip? You don't have to be shy. I'll answer any of the weirdest
questions. How were the Rockies?
The Rockies were actually not too bad. People kept telling me how challenging it was going to be because I don't have a very good gear set on my bike. And so when I made it over the Sierra Nevadas, because they're only a 2-day ride from San Francisco. When I left San Francisco, I was about 60 days sitting on the couch before that, because I injured my foot really bad, so I was out for 6 weeks, and then after that I was too busy prepping for the trip to exercise, so I was super out of shape. The Sierra Nevadas came way easier than I expected, because the thing about pedaling over a mountain is all you have to do is keep pedaling, and that's it. Every time you pedal, you get a little further, and as long as you do that, you're fine. And the hard part's wind, because then you have things to curse about. But when you're going over mountains, it's really, the top's going to be there if you just keep pedaling, and it's that easy.
What prompted you? What was your inspiration? Why did you do it?
There was no particular inspiration of why I did this exact trip. I just like to do things that I find. So what I do, my mission is to entertain, educate, inspire, and give back. So I find that people are much more susceptible to knowledge when it's via entertainment. So if I'm doing things that people just want to see, and then at the same time they can get a message out of it and maybe take home that message and do it, that's my way of doing things. I don't ever like to tell anybody to do anything. I don't like people to tell me to do anything, so I'm not going to do that as well. So for me, it's just doing creative things that will maybe get people inspired and maybe not. But I know if I do enough crazy things that it's going to make people start becoming more conscious of the world around them. That's really the idea, is just to make people happy, help people live happier, healthier lives for themselves and in turn for the planet. Because what I've learned is that a happy you is the best thing that you can do, pretty much. Any other questions? Cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
My website, if you guys want to follow the journey, it's greenfieldadventures.org, and there's a blog on there on the right side. and I do a blog basically every day or every other day. They're usually pretty entertaining,
It's
but
an
they
awesome
also.
blog. I read it every day.
Oh, do you?
Yes, I do.
Nice. And then,
I'm Jay, by the way.
Oh, you're Jay. Okay.
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
And then also, I have a cameraman following me for the entire trip, so we're doing a documentary which will be out later this year. It's called Off the Grid Across America, as well as a book with the same title, and all that information is on my website. You can add me to Facebook, and that's facebook.com/RobJGreenfield. I can use my computer because it's charged by solar. Yep. So the only thing is that when I'm using internet, I'm not creating the internet it's taking to run the router. And then even on top of that, servers are being used in order to access my Facebook account, servers are storing that information somewhere, wherever Facebook's servers are. So the thing that I've learned is that no matter what you do, there's going to be a negative aspect to it, but it's minimizing that negative aspect. So even if you're eating locally grown organic lettuce or kale or whatever, well, it had to get shipped here, and so some fossil fuels had to get burned. So, and the good news is that our Earth can handle a little bit of a beating. Like, we've got a pretty diverse, incredible Earth, and it can take, obviously it can take quite a bit, because look what we've done to it already. So, if we reduced greatly, we would be seeing a lot of improvements in the Earth around us. So, no matter what you do, there's always going to be a negative side to it, but it's reducing that negative impact.